Back at it again.
What is up?
Everything is up.
Oh my God.
This is incredible.
Infectious.
This has probably been one of the better weeks of my 2020.
Infectious. Look, I honestly, man, I haven't really had a bad 2020.
No, I've had a really good
and
one.
A lot of people are freaked out about it. I've actually had a really good one. And you live and learn with what's happening in society and what's happening, with Corona and shelter in place and all this stuff. But man, I just I dug in. And we've been pretty successful. We got Whop.
Whop, the mighty, the powerful,
the man,
head
the
trainer,
myth, the legend,
Roy Jones Jr.
That's right.
And everybody else
Shamir,
that comes along with that. Shamir, too
Ariel.
quick, unbelievable.
That's it.
And everybody else on the roster. I don't want to do
we're-
him disjustice, but I don't know all the names. So
He's got a ton of them. That's why he can't remember.
I know.
I can't remember all. Look, we're going to get into your story for sure, and we're going to dig deep into it. But I got one thing to ask you. How'd you get the nickname Whop?
Well, my brother, I used to fight when I was young. And my mother used to always send my brother to get me and say, go get Valrice. He out there fighting again. And the amazing part about me fighting, I always whop the person first. I always hit first.
yes, sir.
I hit first. So each time my brother got me from fighting, sometimes he used to piss him off that he got to come get me. He was older than me, and he'd come get me and say, "Come on, y'all, Whop, come on." And then every even during the house, seeing him in the house, he went to call me Whop. You want to whop somebody?
Whop somebody.
So over the years, my brother would see me outside with his friends. He'll be with his friend. I'll be passing by, and he said, "Look, my little brother. Look at Whop. Look, come here, Whop." And over the years, that name stuck with me.
Stuck.
It's stuck.
So the origin was fighting. Then.
Yeah.
That's
It's called
incredible.
Whop. So when you get the nickname, Whop, and you learn how to hit first, is that something that just came to you naturally, or did someone teach you to hit first?
No, I had as a teenager, I had those type of temperament.
Yeah. You let them fly.
I let them fly, especially and you was in front of me. I had them type of temperaments.
Oh, yeah.
That I'm gonna hit you first.
But especially boys when they're younger, we're full of testosterone, we're crazy, we like to have fun, and fighting's part of it, man.
Yeah.
And someone pisses you off, you want to go take their head off.
You probably pulled hair.
I didn't pull hair. I bit. Bit, kick, clawed, whatever I got to do to win.
Yeah, I'll bite your ankle. Yeah,
That's right. So we were just talking before we jumped on air, and just your incredible journey, brother, and just your perspective on life. And for those that know anything about you, man, they know that you are a shining light to many, and you've been this way for decades.
Yeah.
Did you mentioned about this is really I think shaped you? Talk about some of those influence you had early on with some of the groups and some of the people that were mentors to you that helped you become a mentor.
Well, the people that were mentoring me in prison, they was trying to improve the perspective of a young black crazy guy.
Yeah.
So they was trying to influence me as much self-destructive behavior how I was doing. They seen that I had a lot of youngsters of my generation looking up to me. So some of the influence that I was giving out was negative influence.
Yeah.
So if I do something self-destructive, the people that look up to me want to do something self-destructive too. So some of the political groups that was in prison, like the Black Panther Party and the Muslims and so on, they had their own agenda.
Yeah.
But some of the guys were genuinely concerned about the plight of the young self-destructive behavior of the young black youth in prison. So there had a few of them that was instrumental in influencing elevating my consciousness to my behavior. I call it, God bless the dead. One of them was Herman Wallace. He was a former Black Panther. And Robert King, he's still living. He was part of the Angola 3. What's
the Angola 3?
The Angola 3 was two guys that was accused of killing a prison guard.
Oh, wow.
And they was wrongfully picked out of the prison population because of their political views as Black Panthers. And they were locked up and stayed locked in solitary confinement for 40 years. And their story became legendary due to political scene, because some of them finally got released. Robert King got released. Herman Wiley got released, but died soon afterwards. And Albert Woodfox, he got released. So the only two remaining survivors that didn't go to tree is Albert Woodfox and Robert King. So but the main one that was influenced on me was Herman Wallace. You know, taught me to play chess, taught me to be calm, taught me to look at life from a better perspective.
Yeah.
Don't always be self-destructive, because of the impact I was having on my generation. And the impact I was having on my generation was that if I do something self-destructive, guys that look up to me don't want to do something self-destructive. I didn't realize the leadership role or the influence I was having on people of my generation. So those group, and I had another Muslim guy named Abdul. He was part of the Baton Rouge radical group of Muslims. But he was, individually, he was a great guy who was genuinely concerned about the state of negativity that a young black male engaged in.
Yeah.
So his influence combined was a awakening of consciousness, making me be more aware of my behavior.
Yep.
And the influence that I had on my generation of youngsters. And then they wanted me to be more conscious of that I'm a leader and don't know I'm a leader, or that I'm impacting people's lives and don't know I'm impacting. So they brought that consciousness to me.
Raise that awareness.
Yeah, raise my awareness to know that you can't do anything and everything and not have an impact. So I think those was my early influence of becoming self-aware of the self-destructive behavior I was doing to myself, and being a leader to people that was looking up to me at that time. That's one of the reasons I wound up catching a charge in Angola, is because I felt like when I made it to Angola, I was seeing so many youngsters of all sizes, sexes, and races getting sexually abused, physically abused, game rape, game jug, game stab, game everything. So in my young mind, I had to be the sacrifice lamb. I had to be the one that showed the leadership of that this is what this how a youngster put an end to that.
Yep.
And that's what I did. And then you gotta look at the reason I went to Angola. I think they was trying to break me. They was trying to bring me send me to a place that you never send a 17-year-old with 40 years, and the only reason you're sending a 17-year-old with 40 years to Angola in that time that you wanted them dead, hurt, or raped. That's the only reason.
Can you talk about the charge?
The charge was a petty robbery charge at a high school dance, and that we wanted to get high, and we.
When you were at 17, everybody was getting high.
Everybody's trying to.
Yeah,
I ain't getting fucking fun.
We was at our senior high school dance, and one of our partners, one of our classmates, he was a classmate. He wasn't a partner, but he was a classmate. We took his watch and $22, went scored some weed, came back, got the weed, came back to the dance, smoked the weed at the dance, and all is happy, right?
That's a normal night for a 17-year-old, honestly.
It's normal, right?
For most 17-year-olds, that's not a big deal.
Oh my God!
Until the next day, some friends of mine was telling me the police was on campus looking for me and looking for my other friend. And next thing you know, I was wanted on a whole armed robbery charge, right? And so I was wanted on a whole. And I know, do I think that my do I think that my classmate wanted to see it go to that extreme? No, not to this day. I still don't think he wanted to go. But he had uncles and people that was on the police force.
Yeah, they pushed it.
And they made it look like this great juvenile conspiracy and leader committing all these crimes. And I ain't never been convicted of a crime in my life. Never. That was my first conviction in my life. I've been charged with things, but never been convicted for a charge as a juvenile. That was my first conviction. Was something that you made into a robbery.
It's fucking awful.
Yeah.
And so I went. And you sent me to 40 years for that. And then you got to look at, you sent me in front of the judge that was known for sending young black dudes to the max.
Yeah.
In fact, his name was Maximum Max. His name was Matthew Brandon. They call him Maximum Max. So when I went in front of him, he
probably got a sweet place in hell, though.
Yeah.
So.
Look, with no explanation whatsoever, he say he's sending me to 40 years in Angola State Penitentiary. My lawyer say, hold it. They don't send 17 years old to Angola. They send him to DeQuincy or anything. He gone to Angola. And I'm going to get a report on him in the next 10 years. All right, so I talked back to him. I said, I guarantee you, when you check on me in the next 10 years, I'm going to be the worst juvenile that Angola ever seen in the history of that prison. And I succeed. When I got up there, I was the worst juvenile Angola ever had seen. And I succeeded. And I succeeded because that's where my self-destructive behavior.
It's hate, though, man.
So
there's nothing
that bitterness
to me.
That bitterness in me for what was done to my young life. When I got to Angola, you could have touched me on the shoulder by accident, and it wasn't.
It was on.
It was on.
Whop came out.
Yeah, it came out in full force. So, I was designed to be the worst. My mentality was to be the worst teenager.
Where did that come from? Was that something you were some people have this, just their toughness when they're born, but did you have any events in your life as a kid that molded you to want to be more tough and get out there and stick up for yourself? Did you have an example of something that happened, or was it just innately in you to want to just go out there and just anyone mess what you'd want to
crush?
Yeah.
Well, you see, I played spokes when I was younger, and through spokes, I had aggression about me playing spokes.
Yeah.
That's about
a natural aggression.
Yeah, I had a natural aggression. Then the police used to come around with the boxing gloves, and in Ward in New Orleans, I used to participate in those events.
Yep.
And I was recognized as one of the winners. Place your bets now, because I'm gonna win this. So, but
put your money down.
That's right.
But I never shy away from anything in my life, physically,
competitive.
No matter how big you are, how growing up, I never shy away from that, and I always want you to respect my friends like you respect me.
Yep.
And if one of my friends was timid and didn't want no trouble, and you was a bully and you was trying to bully him, I take up for him.
Yeah.
I come whop you.
Yeah.
And show my friend that you is not as big bad wolf as you think.
Right.
So I took up for my friends. I took up for people that I was in part of my friendship. I don't care how everybody else looked at you. If I looked at you as a friend, you were part of me, my friendship.
Yep.
So anyone can mess with you. I don't care who it is. And sometimes my friends got me for people that was messing with them. And I went to care of business. I went put a little whop out and whopped it. Enough said, enough done. But I think that's coming to prison. I hung out with older guys, and I think that was probably one of the crucial things that placed me above people of my generation.
Yeah.
It made me more aggressive. It made me more that you don't have to.
You felt like you had to prove something.
Well, I figured that even though I was hanging with bigger guys, older guys, and if one of my friends was being tampered with, I had to show him that the guy, for me hanging with older guys, I had to show him that guy is nothing. You just whop him one time and that's it. So I think that's where ultimately my aggression came from.
Yep.
And then, because I always think my generation, the guys in my generation wasn't ready for anything strong, anything. They let people, at that time, they were letting people do anything and say anything to them. So I couldn't handle that because I was hanging with older guys. So I didn't want none of my friends to feel left out, that I'm always their friend,
Right.
no matter who I'm hanging with, they still my friend.
Friendship, and you talked
Sure.
about trust is so important.
Yeah.
You're keeping that trust between
Yeah.
people that you
Even to
For
this
sure.
day, even to this day, I see some of my friends from childhood, and they still revealing me with the highest respect because of what I did for them as
Character.
as teams,
Yep. So you're Angola. I've heard horror stories about this, and I said it was, whatever I said, and you're like, no, that was just the beginning. It was basically hell on earth.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Treacherous.
Angola at that time. I went to prison. It was recognized by the national consensus that it was the worst prison in the United States.
Yeah.
It was the most bloodiest prison in the United States. It wasn't like it was today, because if this a dormitory right here, we all live in this dormitory.
Yeah.
There is no security overlooking now on us.
Wow.
So if you get thrown in there, they throw you in there, and the security gone. If he come back the next day and found you dead, me dead, you dead, who's the question?
The next day, they would
The
be gone
next-
for days at a time.
Once
Half
you
a
put
night?
A night. So whatever happened that night, whether you get raped, whether you get jugged, whether you get stabbed, it doesn't matter. You ain't gonna find out until the next day, right? So
Fucking insane.
So-
Insane.
Like Gladiator, like you're just thrown to the
Yeah,
wolves.
It is. It's.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: that this is not that long ago. This guy's still living.
Right.
It's not. This is not like 1700 or 1600 or Rome back in the day. You
Right.
throw people in there. This was in fucking 30 years ago. In the
That's
last
true.
30 years.
That was in
Let me
the
ask you a
70s.
question. I'm gonna flip the script a little bit. But what was the first thing you did when you got out of prison? First thing.
Yeah.
I ate a steak.
Did you?
I thought like I'd be like I was gonna go get that burger that I wanted because it's usually food.
Yeah,
based.
it
You're like-
is something you've been
so,
craving for 3 decades.
What was that? What was that? What was the steak? Where'd you go?
I ate a steak at Texas Roadhouse.
Oh, yeah.
I was determined to eat me a steak.
Was it the best steak you had?
I think so. and ironically,
I believe it.
Ironically, in moving forward, the second best steak I had was in Russia at an American deli.
Yep.
It was cooked right, everything. So even though my
You
first
go medium rare? Or
No.
you go done?
done.
Done.
And my second best steak was in a foreign country.
Yep. Isn't that crazy?
It's that great, but it was by American.
American cook. Yeah,
Cook.
yeah.
You know?
Dude, I got when I first started doing credit card process, or when I was doing credit card process and I went to ETA, all those people were trying to sell to me, which I'm always trying to sell to other people, right? Guys like, hey, let's go to Wynn's Steakhouse. I'm like, this is early on in my career. I couldn't afford, that kind of food, but I was still eating burgers and stuff. The guy goes, come on, I got you. You're doing 20, 30 deals a month. I want you to board them on mine and do all this. He goes, order whatever you want. I'm looking at the left side of the menu, I look at the right side of the menu, So I ordered a $200 steak. I said, this is good. And you know what? It tasted every bit of $200, man.
I believe it.
So good.
So just, because Russia sounds like, I remember you were telling me before we jumped on, in less than 30 days when you got out, you were in Russia, and just how surreal that was, and how I want to get to that. But in terms of, everyone that I've talked to about you has you in such high regard, from Roy to Shamir to SM Bullets, the rapper that we met today. He was in prison with you.
Yeah, he was a team.
And we did it. I don't know if you know this. We did a podcast with him.
Yeah, we talked to him. Yeah,
so awesome.
And and everybody holds you in such a high regard as this inspirational father figure. I think it's important for people because
mentor, love.
Yeah, like it's important for people that listen to this and that'll be watching this to realize that you probably don't have it that bad. Like everybody's shit's relative, right? Like you got a bad day. Yeah. Maybe the day had a shitty you, right? Like you were just shitty, right? Yeah. So, but as far as there's some real things out there. But for 35 years, and we're all in agreement, the 10 people that are in this house right now, you shouldn't have got fucking 40 years for what you did.
No.
Every one of us has done probably way worse shit.
Yeah. Way worse.
And it's not fair. So you could have went another way with this is what I'm getting
at. And most people do.
You could have been salty. You went in there, you said, I'm going to be the baddest motherfucker in here for 10 years, whatever it was. But then that light that was inside of you to be that leader turned back on and you started helping people. So what was it in prison, in one of the worst prisons in the country, that helped you stay positive minded to where you come out and now you're this inspiration to so many?
Well, like I say, I never was a complete dummy.
Yep.
I was in 11th grade. I mean, I was about to graduate out of high school. So I was never functionally literate. But my behavior on the street and in Angola dictated how I acted.
Sure.
So if you bring me to a very humble experience, I'm going to act in a humble way.
Gotcha.
But if you bring me to a place with even intent, self-perseverance is going to set in. And so if you bring me to a place that determines whether I live or die in a destructive way,
survival,
then my survival is going to kick in. And especially, like I told you, I know the reason in my head why you sent me there. And as a judge, for you to send me there with even intent, I had to prove you wrong.
Right.
I had to prove you wrong, and I succeeded in proving you wrong because I became one of the most feared inmates in Angola at a young age. And that fear, but also, even though that fear, people being fearful of you, also, as many of them respected
for sure
your struggle.
Right.
Well, that's what I was going to say earlier because we're talking about the positive influence you've had all over these young people here because we feel it from them. It is evident that you give them hope and do all that. But the other way is your the 10 years that you were bad, you were influencing people the bad way then.
Right.
Yes.
So
you were leading one way or the other.
That's right.
Yeah.
Somebody respected you for doing all that stuff. And
it was two different time periods too. You got to look at the time period as when I was in my self-destructive behavior and when I became this motivating positive force. It was two different periods. See, from the period from 17 on to my the latter part, like my
late 20s.
Late 20s and early 30s, that transformation began.
Start to mature too as a man.
It was maturity. Exactly. It was maturity as a man.
Yep.
There was no more worlds for me to conquer.
Right.
Not only was my reputation preceded being, but also the fact that I had a lot of people that knew my struggle from my 17 years on to that point, respected that. And the environment in Angola was changing. So hearing about the knife fights and the bloodshed with youngsters coming in prison, hearing about these stories, then the respect part of came in a loud part of my years from my late 30s, my late 20s, and my early 30s, when that transformation become the transform that I didn't want to judge nobody no more.
Yep.
I didn't have to judge nobody no more because my reputation was that
don't fuck with this guy.
You see what I'm saying?
Don't fuck with this guy.
Leave him the hell alone.
Right.
Even security.
Keep going.
Even security had this, like when I caught the manslaughter charge in Angola, and no correctional, no ranking correctional, major, lieutenant colonel, warden, ever wanted to let me out of cells. Never. They say I will rot and die in the cell.
Wow.
They wasn't gonna put their career on the line and let Valrice Cooper out the cell.
Because of the problem, right? Like that you could have been a problem.
But almost like if you didn't do that from 17 to 29, and I know this is kind of a switch thinking that if you didn't do that, you might not have survived.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like if you
have survived.
that mindset of like I have to do this and I got to be super aggressive. Right? It allowed you to make it to where you could be a positive force because that negative force helped you stay alive.
I wasn't going to survive.
Yeah.
If I wouldn't have lived the way I lived it, I would have never survived.
Which is wild to think that the evil or the negative thinking helped you get to the positive because it would have never been that way if not.
Yeah, because I had already coming to Angola. There's a human element to the behavior we commit while we in prison.
Yep.
And the human element to that has something to do with your family, your mother, your sister.
Yep.
You know, people that genuinely loved you on the street. So we might not, we don't always separate that when we go to visit shed, that's real love.
Right.
That's your family, that's your mother, that's your sister, your brother coming. That's real love. So we never separate that from our behavior. And one of the things that triggered the transformation in me, because I had already caught a murder charge in Angola, and at a young age.
Did you do it?
Yes.
But the reason I ask you that, the only reason I ask you that is because you already told me that they put murders on people all the time that didn't do it.
No, I did it as a matter of respect, of pride, of manhood.
Yep.
When you disrespect my manhood, you deserve to die. That's how I thought back then.
What did he do to you?
Disrespect my manhood by calling me bitches and hoes, and I should have a man, and so on and so forth. Well, you deserve to die, and your last breath should be coming from the point of my knife, and that's what happened. So, but what I'm trying to tell you is that even while we doing this bad behavior, they got people suffering that genuinely love you.
Yeah.
Or when
That's
they
right.
find out, well, Jay got a murder charge in prison. All right, you see,
Sure.
So that's heartbreaking. You're up there with a lot of time, and then you kill somebody while you're up there. So your family got to deal with that.
Yep. Other people are affected by it.
Yes, other people.
Did you like, what did that process look like in terms of did you have to go like right back in front of a judge and they resentenced you?
Yes, I had to go to East Baton Rouge Parish.
Did they know right away it was you? They knew. Yeah.
Yeah,
People rat on you, or they knew.
No, it was right there for them to see.
Really?
Well, it wasn't like when I first came to Angola, where I told you there's no security.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, at this time,
Okay, so by that time it had changed a little bit where there was some security.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying is that the whole culture of Angola was changing this whole time.
So, I mean, are you comfortable talking about the moment when this happened? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So someone demasculates you and calls you a bitch and you should be with a man and all this shit. And in prison, that's not just fighting words; that's killing words.
that's killing.
Especially in Angola, which is like the worst of the worst.
What nowadays they use it as a slang.
For sure.
From the street and all that.
And if other people see that happen to you, but then you become a mark. Like someone's gonna rape you, someone's gonna try to take your commissary, someone's gonna fuck with you. Like you're just your life is complete shit from there.
Yes. You have no respect whatsoever.
What goes through your mind in terms of thinking about, okay, well, this motherfucker's done, and then all of a sudden you like walk us through? Did you have to create a shank? Like what did you do? Did you stab? Like talk about all. I want to hear it all.
I had a knife made.
Okay.
I had a knife made. They make knives out of stainless steel.
Yep. Damn.
I had a knife made, and I said, look, I had one of my partners working at the mechanic shop.
Yep.
And I had to had me a knife made. And they got knives throughout Angola. Everybody had knives.
Yeah.
So, but I had my knife made, so I said, well, when I see him, wherever I see him, he gotta go.
Wow.
And I seen him going to chow one day, and he had to go.
Walk us through that moment.
Well, ironically, I don't know what if he was intending to, whether he was intending to disrespect me again, but I'm planning on. I knew he in the back of me.
Yep. Behind you in line.
So I got to stop somewhere else. I got to stop up front and hit him and turn around and wait till him catch up and jug it.
Yep.
But ironically, I don't know, to this day, it always puzzled me. He came, skipped the line and got right in front of me.
Wow. Wow. So he got in front of you.
Made my job so much easier.
Get him in the neck?
The neck, the body, the head.
Multiple, just pop, 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 pop.
They had a walkway. See, this the grass down here. This the walkway. We walking up here.
Yep.
And when
y'all were waiting in line for your food.
Well, we in the child line.
Yeah, okay.
It's a long line.
Yeah.
But we ain't made it there yet. But this is
the walkway.
That's the grass.
Yep.
So as I commenced chugging him, he fell. And I kicked him off the walkway.
To the grass.
And the security was there in record time because they was on the wall watching the inmates going.
But you hit him 6, 7, 8 times at least, right?
Yeah, about 6 times. And ironically, that God bless the dead, I had a Paul partner that come out of nowhere, boom, and joined the fire.
What was your feeling in that moment? Was there like a you fulfilled like that he slighted you and you're like, I got you back, and like
I got you.
And did you stand there and like was it surreal? Were you fucking hyper focused like survival? You're staring at him as he's dying. Like what is that like?
Well, I kicked him off the wall.
Yep.
I kicked him down in the grass and say that.
You're like, fuck you. You're like, here's 6 times you're dead, and then by the way,
not only did I jug your ass up, I'm kicking your ass
right
in the grass like a piece of rag or dough.
Damn.
I kicked him down there. Boom, he fell. And you got to realize I was a young guy that was like 5'9", 135, 40 pounds. And this guy was like 6'2".
You were used to beating up the big guys, though.
Yes.
And you probably had a fire in you.
This dude was like 6'2", 190 pounds.
Big dude.
Yeah, he was a big dude. And I broke him all the way down to his lower denominator.
Damn, man.
And the awesome part about it is that when security came try to take the knives right there on the spot, and that wasn't gonna happen.
You weren't giving up the knife. Are they packing guns or no? They have batons. What do they have?
Yeah, batons.
Batons. Okay, so they could beat you up, but they didn't have anything like a gun to shoot you. Like
No.
Okay. So
They still don't allow that.
I don't think so. I just didn't know like what they're carrying to subdue you.
No.
So did he die slow, or did he like pretty much right away because you hit him so many times with the knife? Like was it pretty quick for him?
He died that day.
Yeah. Okay, so he had maybe a little bit longer than like a few hours, or was it?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I give him about an hour. Well, he was pronounced dead at that rock.
Damn, dude. And the security guards roll up on you, and you're in this like ferocious, I'll fucking kill you too, motherfucker.
If you try to get
the
knife.
How did they get it from you, and how did you surrender?
Well, one of the wise ranking officers came walking to the dungeon.
Came at you with more peace than aggression.
Walking to the dungeon.
Yeah.
And he gonna give you the knife. And they walked me to the dungeon. I got the dungeon.
You gave him the knife.
I gave him the knife.
And then you were like, I did my job.
Yeah, I did.
You handled this the right way.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it now?
I know. I want to know that too.
Well, how do you feel about it today, 2020, right now?
Yeah.
Well, you look. That was here was the changing event. I'm gonna give you the changing event.
Yep.
I done it again.
Okay.
I jug another guy.
How long after the first one?
Years.
Years.
Someone
diss you again?
Well, not so much to diss me.
Yeah.
But I did it again.
Okay.
It wasn't like in the 70s, the disrespect in the 70s. No, this was more like a personal grudge that spilled over to being a
kind of boiling up a little bit and getting pissed. And
so it was like a personal vandella, a dislike thing. Or I don't like you, you don't like me.
Yep.
Well, where we go from there?
And then it's you or me.
But you did something one time when one of my friends was having a fight with his friend.
Okay.
right?
And we know how you feel about friends.
Yes, and he jumped in,
Okay.
and I wouldn't jump in him.
Gotcha.
And I told him from him jumping in, whenever me and him meet again, his life gonna be in God's hands.
So you determined at that moment because he went against your friend. You're such a
Loyal.
You're the best friend to fucking have. First of all,
And without a
first of
doubt.
all, I want you as my friend forever. Second of all,
Yeah. Look,
Yeah.
he's on my side of the table. dude.
you're always trying to
He's my
divide.
friend.
I unite. I don't divide. I unite. So we're all friends. So you decided that moment that motherfucker had to die because he went against your friend.
And not only that, he jumped in.
Right.
And then I jumped in on
He
him.
made it unfair, and you're all about
Yeah,
the friendship.
yeah,
So
yeah.
okay.
He made it unfair. At first, it was just them two. It was gonna be,
And that's what it is. One-on-one, that's it. But
Yeah.
when you jump
But when
in,
he jumped in, because my friend was getting the best of his friend, I came. Somebody called me and told me they was out there. Crowd.
People been doing that their whole life though. With you coming to get
I went
you.
out there and I went out there and jumped on.
you
him.
whopped them.
You walked them.
But the problem was the security was out there so fast before I could even get on it.
Okay.
So when the security and all of them was out there, I left him my final word that from now on, when we meet again, your life gonna be in God's hands.
You're the fucking Grim Reaper.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
You're the Grim Reaper.
fucking God.
You go.
It's like, God.
If he
look,
says I'm gonna kill you, go somewhere else in the world.
But listen. Here's the thing though. I have to like try to put my mind into this moment, and there's a lot of Whops in that prison at
Yeah,
that
you
time,
better
probably.
believe it.
So there was a lot of those Whops. So it's like
Kill or be killed.
God will be with you that day, and there was multiple of you, lots of
Yes.
you.
Is that where Shamir gets the saying? Because Shamir says that he's like, I hope
He
God's
said-
with you
we
that
started
day.
to laugh, and I go, I blinked.
Yeah. Okay. So you made a decision in your mind that moment. This guy's got to go.
Well, years passed, more like 5 years.
After the incident.
Yes,
Oh,
What?
fuck.
about 5 years.
Come on,
What?
grudges.
Fuck, dude. You don't forget.
Yeah, I know.
The fuck. Listen. Anything you want, it's on me.
Yeah,
Okay.
Hey, you want that sign? It's fine.
but the problem,
You can take the land.
I got you,
whatever.
brother. I got you.
like 5 years had passed, 4-5 years. I was way in another part of prison, in the main prison.
Okay.
He was at Camp C,
Okay.
and he was at Camp C, and I was in the main prison. The chances of meeting is greater only if he come on call out to play football, to play basketball, or something like that.
Yeah.
So one night I was looking at the call out.
Oh,
They
yeah,
have a
that sounds
call
way
out.
better, yeah.
They have a call out. You see everybody coming in, play football, play basketball, or go to the A building, go to the farm. You can see the call out.
Yep.
So I seen a football team was coming to the main prison yard,
Okay.
and Camp C Bass was coming to play the main prison Steelers.
It's your opportunity.
And no, but I looked on the call out and I see his name. And I say, listen.
I owe this motherfucker.
I say, no, I say it's impossible.
Right? He's
see.
still here?
Impossible.
No, it's impossible that he put his name on that call out
Oh my
to come
goodness.
to that main prison,
He's asking for it.
knowing that I'm down there. So
It's like the guy standing in front of you, like he made it too easy.
But I mean, it's 5 years. People are like, what, you know.
I know.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I see, I knew this guy ain't coming down here. to
What's
play
the What's the back of
football.
the shirt that Roy has? I guess y'all forgot.
I guess y'all forgot. Whop never forgets. I want a T-shirt.
I guess
from
y'all.
Whop.
I guess y'all forgot. Is that the back of the shirt?
Yeah,
Carl?
Yeah.
Forgot.
Must have forgot.
Yeah, I must have forgot. Yeah, this
I want a
motherfucker
T-shirt
don't
that
forget.
says Whop never
No,
forgets.
he does not.
Yeah.
And then an awesome part about it
That was 2015,
that night-
motherfucker.
That night I was looking at the call out and I seen that his name was on there to come play football
Yep.
with the Bears team
Okay.
to play the Steelers.
Okay.
If Steelers is in the main prison. And I told my partners that night that, man, I know this dude know I'm down this walk. And I know this dude ain't talking about coming to play no football. He said, I tell you what,
It's coming to get you in your mind.
if he come through that gate, I'm gonna kill him.
Motherfucker.
So everything I couldn't have at Camp J,
Yep.
radio,
Yep.
canned goods, bread, honey buns, and all that kind of stuff I can't take to Camp J. I gave it to my partners.
So you already went through the process of I'm leaving this.
I'm leaving.
Wonderful honey buns.
I'm
treats,
giving all my treats away that I
freedoms
can't have at Camp J. My radio and everything, my tape player, whatever, I can't have it at Camp J. I'm giving it away to my friends that's in the main prison with. I say, if he come through that gate, I'm gonna destroy him. And so the next morning, when I knew the football team coming through, I kneeled down. I see the football team camp. I see the camp, the Bears. I see the whole team, and I'm standing on the other side of the gate, and by me standing on this guy's gate, and who do I see? Second one in line.
The Mark, your guy.
So I kind of like kneeled down on the walk. I had a hood on because I didn't want him to notice me.
Yeah.
And I kneeled on the walk, waiting on them to come through the gate.
Yep.
And when they come through the gate, I was gonna get it.
What'd you do again this time? Another knife?
Another night.
How'd you get this one?
Well,
Same guy.
Same. So your plug.
What?
Your knife plug.
There's a black. It's called a blacksmith, man. It's called a blacksmith.
A knife in prison, like, give me a water.
Yeah. Go to the knife store.
Yeah, give me a water. Give me a cigarette. That's how easy it is to access. Give me a water. Give me a cigarette. Well, as easy as to get water or cigarettes, that's the easiest to get a knife.
Yeah.
So, when he came through there, he had shoulder pads on, he had tugs on, you know, he had no hammer on, because you can't come through that gate with a hammer
right.
on. Your face got to be visible. So I'm like, he really coming his ass through that gate, you know. So they have the mailbox right here.
Yep.
They got a gate that open.
Burt Reynolds was quarterback
on this side, and they got a gate that open on that side. So the mailbox is in the middle. So if this gate opens, the mailbox there. If that gate opens, the mailbox there. So when he came through the gate, he was trapped. When I commenced jugging him, he was trapped between this gate, that gate, and the mailbox. He couldn't get out.
He
saw you there.
Huh?
He was stuck in that position.
He was stuck in that position.
You had him boxed in, essentially.
Yeah, I had him boxed
Talk
in.
about you call it jugging. So is that jugular? Is that like stabbing someone in the neck? Like what did this one look like? Did you hit him again a few times? And
well, I couldn't hit him up here.
Yep, because he had the pads on.
I couldn't hit him down here.
Right.
Because he was laying his leg.
Yep.
So I hit him up here.
In the fucking head.
In the damn head. And blood went to gushing out on
another steel fabricated piece of blade, like knife. And did you came down with it? Over the top. Oh, so,
yeah.
Oh my goodness. And how many times did you hit him with that?
About 6.
That's the lucky number for you, man.
But
6.
Well,
another 6 would be 6.
Right.
But I think I hit him in the head twice.
Okay.
And he had, I think, the bleeding from the head. I think I may hit him twice or 3 times in the head.
Yep.
But the problem,
that guy definitely died almost instant, probably.
The problem with this one was, like I told you can't take a person's knife on a yard. So when
unless you're ready to give it up.
And when I was convinced jugging him, somebody grabbed my arm like that.
Yeah.
And said, let him go. Let him
Let
him live. But the only reason why I let him go, that person who was holding me said his name.
Yeah, get personal.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what they say when a serial or somebody's going to do. Like you start talking about, hey, my daughter's name's Bella. My other my wife is this, and you say their names, and you get personal, and that's what stops people from doing it.
And see, the guy who grabbed my hand, I supposed to be jugging him. When you grab my hand and act that, I'm gonna turn on.
That's
you.
what I just said. Yeah, you're gonna. Yeah.
But unless I hear a name.
Yep.
That reverted me to respect.
Yep. Yep. You went from a primal savage mode to back to like intellectual.
Because the person who was grabbing me saying who he was
Yep.
was a person of respect.
Yep.
So he could grab my hand.
Yep.
He could stop me.
Yep.
But no other person who would grab me,
It wouldn't have worked.
It wouldn't have worked. A person who had to stop me had to be someone I hold.
Yeah, exactly. So you hit him a few times in the head. Where else did you get him after the head?
That was the most damaging part.
The head.
And then, like I say, when we do these events in prison, there's a human side to our behavior.
For sure.
That it repercussions on the street.
Yep.
Your mother, your father, your grandma, your
Yep.
grandfather, your sister, your brother. So my mother lived through me doing it once.
Yep.
And so when they was telling me this guy was dead, I was like, wow, damn, my mother got to hear this
Again.
So wild. The other
but
side, all the coins, because his mother had to hear it too. That he was dead.
Right.
And your mother had to hear that you did
So
it.
many
Well, I assume everybody was saying he died. All right. So then this old guy used to come clean up the till on a lockdown that I was on. And he used to come mop sweep, bring me things and so on and so forth. He was old school. And he came on the till one morning. He said, man, that guy not dead. I said, man, stop fucking playing with me.
Right.
And he said, man, I just come from the infirmary. And he showed me his sticker where, I
Yep.
put this thing on you in the hospital.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
So he didn't die.
He said, I came from.
I didn't think so.
Incredible.
I came.
Not to the head like that.
I came from the hospital with this guy. And he didn't want to talk.
But it's like a movie we don't know until he tells us.
Because I asked him what happened with you and Whop,
Yep.
And he didn't want to talk, but he drove back in the van with me. He over there in the block in the dungeon. And so it was a relief for me that he didn't die.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah. So I ain't got to put my mother through.
Yep.
that. So, I mean, God make things into a situation the way they did. So I had, before I knew he was alive, I had made a pledge to God that if this guy lived, that I was going to change. I was going to change from. I was going to change from the knife to something softer, something positive.
Yeah.
So that was the change. That was the switch.
That was the switch right there. So anyway,
did you talk to that guy again? Ever?
Well, I'm gonna get to that.
Yeah.
But
my God.
So
anticipation.
That was the switch. That was the thing that I promised God I was gonna change for the better. But that's easier said than done.
Right.
Yeah, it's way easier said.
Angola, and you got a reputation that preceded you for years.
Right.
So they got.
Because at this point, you're 13, 14 years in. Right? No,
Yes.
more than that.
No,
more than that. 17 years, because it took 5 more years after that happened.
Yes.
So you're like 17 years in.
Almost 20.
I'm like 20 years.
Oh my fucking God.
Yeah, so I'm like 20 years in. So I'm like, okay, it's easy to say that. At least my mother ain't gonna hear that and kill her.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
So it's easy to say than done. But how can you change in an environment that
Doesn't allow you to change.
don't
You
allow
need to
you
be a
change?
killer to live.
Yes. So how can I change? So I use reverse
Yeah.
psychology.
How did it work? Yeah. Talk about that.
I use reverse psychology. Everywhere he went, one of my friends or one of my partners say, "Watch it when he catch you, he gonna finish what he started."
Yeah. So fear. You went on a fear campaign.
Well, everywhere he went,
It's like the government.
Propaganda. It's psyops.
everywhere he went, he heard that I don't
You
care.
hear it on the news all the time right now.
I don't care if it's across the guard line. I'm gonna run across the guard line.
You're gonna finish the
I'm
job.
gonna finish the job.
But you never had intent on doing that. You just did it so you didn't come around. Yeah. Because you were trying to change. Yeah, I
was
get
trying
it.
to change.
It's fucking
But
smart.
the only-
Misinformation saves someone's life.
That's it.
But I was trying to change because I was engaging in positive things. I wasn't just talking about.
You
people.
were changing. You
I
made a
was
commitment to
changing.
God and to yourself and
but-
to your mom to not put her through this again.
Yes. So I had to change, but I had to
Remain tough.
remain where I'm at.
Yep.
I had to keep my consciousness where I'm at.
Yep.
I have to know where I'm at all times. I'm in Angola. I gotta know where I'm at all time. I'm just not gonna change from no gladiator to no little punk.
Right, you can't.
No
Because then
little
you get killed or
soft-head.
raped.
Then you
Yes.
die.
Which, by the way, real quick, I want to ask about that. How real is the threat of rape in a place like Angola for everyone?
Well,
Everyone.
It's not for everyone.
Okay.
It's for the weak.
Okay, so if you're weak, you show weakness. And that's like in the wild. If you see an animal that's injured, other animals that see that, they kill you.
Yeah.
They eat you and they move on.
So this is it, man. Okay, so yeah, you know, this is fucking insane. First off, that you're that we're talking to you about this and living this, but you're saying God puts people in situations, and I have to say, God didn't put you in that situation. The government put you in that situation, and prejudiced people put you in that
Yep.
situation, and people that say you should go to prison for fucking nothing, for doing something a kid does a kid thing.
Yep.
And so I have to say that that our government put you in that situation.
100% the whole time I'm
Yes,
thinking
not
that.
God.
Yeah.
I
Not
mean,
God.
that's how I looked at
And
it because
I know, but you have to, because it's it's higher power to you. So you're trying to feel a more power to it.
Yes.
Because if you go the other way, like I just said, the government is just gonna like fester hate,
Yeah.
and you can't fester
Corrosive.
Yeah, but see, the coast system in New Orleans is so corrupt.
Yep.
And so
Everywhere,
Yes.
though, I feel
But
like.
well, especially in the South.
especially in New Orleans, because
Systemic racism.
you feed you judge based on your economic
Yep.
and
You're put into a box right away. And people,
Immediately.
we know that judges get paid to put
Yeah,
people
for sure.
away. Like
Yes.
literally, like at certain levels, they
Yes.
get incentivized by privatized fucking prisons to fill those prisons up to the max.
Yes.
And most of the times you find a lot of fucking black fucking Americans that don't deserve to be there, but because they're put in a box
Yes.
and because they're profiled, it's like, get them out of here.
And yes, it is black Americans, but it's white Americans
It
too that
is.
gets put in this fucking box.
Yes.
It is a systematic fucking problem.
Ridiculous.
Where you have a number as a prisoner
Yep.
on your head, or a parolee or a probation officer, because those are also
You are
privatized.
in the system.
Yes.
Those are also privatized. So you have a number on your head that goes, this guy's worth $35 a day. This person is worth
60, 70 grand a year.
70 days,
Whatever it is.
Whatever it is.
But this a prison is a multi-billion.
Of course.
Yes.
And-
It's sick.
And somebody got to be in it.
Yep.
And the government just feel that blacks and brown and poor whites
Yep.
fits the criteria to always struggle for
Hold
their
them down.
life.
Yeah.
To put them in there and make them fight for their life.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, my mentor told me this. He goes, people that don't pay taxes. So it's that if you're making, less than, if your net worth is less than 4, 5, 6 million, then you got to pay taxes. And especially if you're in that million, 500,000 a year to $1 million or 2 million. Well, it's not worth paying that lawyer, right? You spend more money than just paying the taxes. But if you're worth 10 million, 15 million, you don't have to pay taxes because you got enough lawyers to fucking fight them, and they're not going to fight you because that guy will eat you alive with his money, and it's worth paying that lawyer. Well, there's no difference in what we're talking about now.
Whop, can you go back to getting to where you saw this guy again, and you had some sort of, whether it's a reconciliation, whether it was some sort of coming to Jesus moment, but you saw your victim.
Yeah,
And
I seen him years. I seen him after the incident.
Yep.
I must have seen him about 3 years.
Okay. Another 3
afterwards.
years goes by after
Yes,
the incident.
Another 3 years go by.
And at this point, you're probably even more mature. You're more into your
Yeah.
consciousness awakening that you talked about.
Yes, I'm more into me
Yep.
at that time, and I'm still
Working on yourself.
You're healing.
I'm still one of the most respected,
Of course.
and at the same time, I'm still one of the most fearful.
Right.
But I was still in the main prison,
Yep.
and they were moving one camp from another camp. And if you're in the main prison and you're being moved from a camp C, a camp D into the main prison, as a dormitory, putting you in a dormitory on the main prison because they're shifting inmates around.
Right.
The chances of me and you meeting in the main prison, it's like you live around the corner, I live around the corner.
Yep, you're gonna bump into each other.
It's good. It's a good chance. Yeah, it's a good chance.
Me coming, seeing you again,
It's good.
Is 98%.
Yeah.
So what happened was that my told you there's names that carry respect even for me.
Right.
They got guys that was old soldiers who before my time who I listened to, who I carry a tremendous amount of respect. And one of the guys, I was walking going to the child, and one of the guys said, wow. And then I'm saying, all right. I'm thinking this thing he called me hollering at me, so I didn't pay it no mind. Then when I come out of the child, wow. Then I said, all right, I'm still thinking the guy called. No, that's not him. And a guy comes out me out of Dom and say, man, old man P12 on. Now, that's a name of respect.
Right. Even the way you said it.
I got to go see.
It's almost like a mafia thing. Like the Don called for you. You got to go see the Don. Yeah.
He wants to see you.
Right. He sent for you.
He sent for me. Tell me, he's a guy with respect, and he's a guy that lived at the walls I was living before my time.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's an OG.
He's an OG. So when somebody came and told me, man, P12 wants you at the gate, and I went out there. I said, well, let me go see what P12 wants. And P12 told me that, what's up? And he said, man, I got something to talk to you about. I said, what? He said, about the little guy. I said, what about him? I'm going to finish his ass off. What about him? And he said,
but you were still mind gaming at this point. You weren't.
Yeah, I'm
You're mind gaming.
I'm trying to see what
he.
Yeah, you're playing a game. Like you're trying
to see what made my boy. See when he.
This guy come call for you.
Yeah.
I get you.
I want to see what the situation is. What my partner with his pitch.
Yeah.
Because
let him show his cards a little bit so you can react.
Well, let me tell you a brief history about me and P.
Yeah.
P-Joy went home and he came back shot up.
Oh shit!
He came back with shit bags on him and everything.
No way, like colostomy bags.
And we was in the same.
So he got parole and then did something else and came back.
Got shot up, colostomy bag, shit in the bags.
He shot out with the police. So we was in super maximum lockdown. And we was
23 hours a day?
Yeah, 24 hours a day.
24.
And 24 hours a day. And it's pitch dark in there.
Ugh.
But the only light you get is when
evil.
they open it to give medicine and so on. But
it's so fast.
He had shit bags on him. So but due to the fact that police shot him up, they were being assholes to him.
Of course, like he had like a reputation, so they were fucking with him.
And they won't go get no shit bag, so he could change him.
Leave him.
Just leave him as it is. So they won't go get him no shit bag.
So what would happen? Back up and get him sick, or would it overflow?
Yeah, overflow.
Dysentery is what they call it.
So
right, it's dysentery. Yeah.
So
Oregon Trail.
I went to knocking.
Jesus.
I went to knocking down, and told him, y'all gonna come take care of it, or you gotta come in here and kill us both.
Yep.
Yeah.
You stuck up for your friend.
Yeah, I stuck up for him.
The narrative of your life.
They came in there, gassed us down, and everything, put mace on us, and we had to breathe through the shit and through the fountains to get out.
Jesus Christ.
You know, because they had sprayed all the gas in there on us. So,
oh my God.
So the fact.
Wait, hold on. You had to breathe in shit or gas?
No, you had to breathe through the pipes to get air.
Yeah.
To get out.
So you were getting shit in your mouth?
No. All the spray, all the pepper spray.
Yeah, like
that shit kill that shit when they spray that shit in there. That shit kill all oxygen.
Okay.
In the room.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you got to breathe some kind of way,
Or you'll die.
or you die in that. So you got to breathe some kind of way.
So you went.
Be asphyxiation or whatever.
So,
right?
but see, in the pipes, a avenue for you to breathe.
So they were trying to kill you.
Yeah, they were trying to kill both of us.
And if you didn't do the pipe, you were dead.
Yes, we pretty much.
How many days or
probably-
hours were you in that position where you had to breathe through the pipes?
Well, it ain't just that time.
Okay.
So see, once you,
It's like 20 minutes, right?
Yeah, once they spray it in there,
Yep.
it gonna kill the oxygen
Yep.
in there,
Yep.
and they gonna humble you down, and then they gonna close the door. See if they open the door,
Oxygen.
it gonna
It
go out
leave.
the
Yeah.
door.
Yeah.
Damn.
But they close the door on you. So they close the door on you, see if it's humming. You see if it gonna knock you out.
Right.
If you knock you out, they gonna have to rush you to the hospital and bring you back, and so on and so forth. So what happened was that I sent him by the toilet and kept flushing it, and, with a towel over his head, and let him
Breathe the toilet. Like with the
breathe
vent.
the air coming
Yeah.
out of the toilet, and I blowed into the pipe. So we survived their first round, and we survived their first round. So they shot another round in there. You know, I say you.
How long was that time? Was it 5, 10, 20 minutes, an hour?
Yes.
And then they just threw it again.
Yeah, it was about 15, 20 minutes.
Each round.
And they left.
Okay.
They left.
Yep.
And so when they left and they come back, and
Do it again.
They see that
15, 20 minutes again.
and we survive again.
Shit.
So anyway,
What the fuck?
but the shift had changed.
Okay.
And they had a captain that was on that. He knew it was happening, but
Yep.
he's not a dirty captain. He don't play them type of game.
Yep.
Yeah.
You see, only the racists play them
Yep.
type of game. But this captain, he don't play them type of game. So
He was human being, had compassion.
So he came in there, and when I seen the shift had changed, they came in there with oxygen masks on, military oxygen masks, and but before he opened the door, he let himself be known who he was.
Right.
So we knew it was him. The shift had changed.
Yeah.
So he come in there and he asked me. He said, "What's the problem? What's the problem?" I said, "That's the problem right there. This man got 2 shit bags on him, and they don't want to go get him no bags to send him. They ain't sent him to the infirmary so they could change his bag, and they want him to sit in here and die.
He's gonna die.
And
Infection.
infection and everything.
Yeah.
So that captain say, get ready, people. Get ready. Get ready to go to the infirmary. They went got the wheelchair. They wheeled him out. They brought him to the infirmary.
So after that, now you're sitting. He called for you.
That's
so we're
the
gonna
one
fast
called
forward.
for.
So he called for you.
That's the one called
And you
for.
go. I want to see what.
I
he
had
needs.
to go see what he wants.
Yeah.
Now,
Okay.
now you understand
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. No.
So
I'm waiting.
I had to go. I had to
Awesome.
go see what he wanted. So when he threw the pitch, so he told me he come out there to talk in the little guy behalf.
Yeah.
I gotta listen.
Right. Because you went to war together.
Yeah,
Like you,
yeah. So I gotta listen. So what I did, I listened. I heard him out, and he asked me what it gonna take for peace.
Yeah.
And I gave him my price for peace.
What was it?
I told him $500 and 10 cartons of Camel cigarettes,
Okay.
and that's what it was. But I asked him what is in it for him,
Right.
and he told me what was in it.
What was it?
He's a gambler.
Okay. Okay.
And he's a hustler. He's a gambler.
Did he owe somebody something or no? Okay.
No. He's a gambler, so he gonna be spotting the poker game. That's his life.
Gotcha.
So I accept those terms.
Yep.
You know,
So you $500, 10 cartons of cigarettes.
that was it.
You saved this man's life because
No,
your
but
friend.
Not really, because he was already in the mindset that
Yeah.
he wasn't going to
Yeah.
do it anyway.
But at least that's what the deal was.
That's what-
yeah.
Yeah.
Incredible.
But you were already in the mindset you were
Yeah, I
going to do it anyways.
wouldn't bust a bug.
It's
Yeah.
incredible.
You were ready, like let you off the hook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But to create to create the formation of my life, I had to perpetrate that concept that I ain't changed, but I ain't changed. I'm still this crazy ass person that
sure, and they better think that for sure. Think that, right?
I think one of the and moving ahead, I think one of the greatest changes in my life after that was when they, even though I bucked it, I didn't like it. Is when they transformed me from Angola to DCI.
DCI. What correctional institute is that with the D?
Dixon.
Dixon. Okay.
That's still in Louisiana, though, right?
Yes. That's still,
okay.
That's still.
So, man, we really could talk for 6 hours about this whole story, but I'm gonna skip a few things because at some point you started training.
Yes, and
at some point you started training, and then you got good at training.
Well, that's
yeah. Let's start there.
Well, when I first made it to Angola, I was a boxer. I had 2 fights as a featherweight. That was the only part of prison boxing that I had 2 novice fights in Angola.
Yep.
When I first got there, but when I got that charge,
they wouldn't let you box
anymore. When on lockdown, I was no longer a featherweight. I come back out of a big old strong.
You get bigger. You get that prison muscle.
Yes.
You know.
But I wasn't into boxing no more.
Yep.
I was the story you just heard. I was into that.
Yeah.
I was into my self-destructive behavior, but I always loved it. Playing football, playing basketball, boxing,
competition,
competitive.
And I had a partner who was on the boxing team, but I used to go down there and watch him train and encourage him because I knew he could be good at boxing, and I used to go encourage him to stick with it. I used to even go down there and train with him or play basketball in the gym with him just so I could
to be around him,
just so I could see him train.
His energy.
Because he looked up to me and I wanted to see him be a boxer. I wanted to see him box because I knew he could be good at it. And he was good at it. So, but, and I was trying to show him, I don't want to be in the self-destructive shit with you. I want you to be a boxer, man. You good, man. I want you to be a boxer. So, and I was playing basketball and everything, but see what I was once were, he was trying to be it.
Right.
And I was trying to prevent him from being it.
Yep.
To be.
He was on that path you were on.
Yes. Because he was younger than mine, but he was on that path, dude. And I was trying to show him that path, that ain't what you want.
Doesn't lead to anywhere.
So, well, in moving forward, that was one of my experiences was to be in the gym, training him, watching him train in boxing on the Angola boxing team. So I used to help another trainer of mine who was in Angola. I used to help him with his fighters and so on and so forth. And I used to do a good job helping them as an assistant.
Yeah.
So they came to want me shift me to Dixon Correction too. So the guy who was over the boxing team, he knows such a great job I was doing. And I said, man, I don't want to go to DCI. I said, man, keep me here, get me off the transfer sheet. So he gave me his word that he was going to take me off the transfer sheet. And he didn't keep his word. So, but look, but that's okay. That's okay. It was best that
it's a blessing.
That you got out of Angola.
Blessing in disguise.
Not that. It wasn't that. I wanted to get out. I didn't want to get out.
Okay.
And go. It was. Well, let me take y'all back a little one more time.
Yeah, for sure.
Y'all back. They had this colonel I grew up with. I was 17 years old. He was 19 years old. And one time, me and him used to get at it, walk, physical. I threw a mirror all in his face.
Before jail.
Well, he was in jail.
When I was on lockdown.
Yeah, he was in jail.
Okay. And I threw a mirror in his face and everything.
Damn.
Cut him all on.
Damn.
So anyway, over the years, me and him practically grew up in there.
Yep.
They say they'll never let Valrice scoop out those cells.
Right.
No.
Right.
But, and I had been in the cells a long time. I had been in the cells. Not only was they never going to let me out the cells, they were never going to let me and my former partner, Nathan Hill, ever connect again, ever. Because of the first murder charge we got. And so I was in them cells pretty much to rock. And until, like I say, me and this guy practically grew up over the years. He was 19 years old, cadet. I was 17 years old, inmate, just coming. I got something to prove. He got something to prove, but on two different
sides.
Different sides. But over the years of me, that first incident with the mirror, over the years, respect,
of course,
grew between him and I. And one day I was on confinement. I was on lockdown, and everybody,
seems like a pattern, Whop. The lockdown seems like a pattern.
Yeah, it was a pattern. It was more than it was a lifestyle.
A lifestyle, dude.
Look, we got to talk about your choices. Lockdown is what you've been doing.
Yeah, lockdown is when you do something, your ass going to lockdown. But I stayed on lockdown so long. No colonel, no warden, or no major won't take a gamble of their career and let me out of the cell.
Right.
Into this guy. And this guy, he told me to give him my word that if he let me out of the cell, I was not going to jug nobody. I was not going to fight his security. And I was going to get my act together. And I gave him my word that if he let me out the cell, I'm going to straighten up. But I had already beginning.
Mentally,
you already committed.
Mentally, mentally, you're already there.
So when he let me out, everybody,
on the journey, at least,
everybody know I'm out the cells. I'm out of lockdown.
Yep.
It's like you let a pit bull out of the damn cell.
But let me out of lockdown and let me in the working cell block. I'm still in the cell block.
Yep.
And I stayed out a year, and I went back.
Shit.
For a knife that wasn't even mine.
Oh no.
So while I was in there for that night, that wasn't even mine. I mean, they sent me to a cell block that you have a bunch of weak ass people around me, and they feel intimidated by me. They put a knife while I'm in the field. In the field, you put a knife here above my cell, and the shakedown crew come find that knife. I had no knowledge that knife up here. If I don't need no knife over there, what I need a knife in that cell block for? Everybody over there, it's years now.
Yep.
Everybody over there know you in the cell block with a legend. What I need a knife for?
Right.
So I went back to Camp J after being in a cell block for a year, and I was at another lockdown, and he came through again.
Damn.
And he said, "Valrice,
you gave me your word.
You gave me your word." I said, and I kept it, man. I can tell you right now, you could go look at the write-up. Man, I was set up. If you go read that write-up, you gonna know yourself for knowing me personally.
Yep.
There's nowhere in living hell that I'm going to make a knife out of a nail.
Yeah.
A nail.
Yeah.
Not stainless steel.
Right.
A nail.
Right.
My knives are legit. That was a piece of shit.
That's not my kind of knife.
I've got real knives, okay?
Yeah. And he asked me, how long you had stayed out? I said, man, I had stayed out a year. And I'm telling you, man, you know, I tell you if it was mine. That wasn't mine, man. That was a goddamn nail. And he let me out again.
Hell yeah.
He let me out again. And every ranking officer telling him, man, you crazy.
Made a mistake.
For keep letting Valrice scoop out and say, you sacrifice to kill somebody else. But I gave him my word.
Yeah.
And remember, I'm on this changing course.
And your word's always been everything to you.
Yes.
Trust and everything.
You're mentally on the journey to change.
The people in security that had negative things to say about me. That's because they didn't know me
Right.
personally.
They knew the legend.
They just heard the story.
Knew the legend,
They didn't know
the
you.
stories.
Yeah.
They didn't know me, the person, as like he did. So he let me out again. And fortunately, I went a little farther this time. I went to a dormitory. And that's where my partner was
Training.
trying to get in the box
Yep.
and do things. So coming to when I got transferred, the coach of the boxing team lied to me. You say you're going to take me off. And when you didn't take me off, I promised him, I said, man, I'm going to make you regret every day I'm at DCI that you got rid of a good person on the boxing team. So I'm at DCI. When I first got to DCI, I'm around a bunch of crazy ass security people.
Yep.
I'm really behind a bunch of crazy ass security people in Dixon because they so immature. They not like Angola. Angola, they don't care if you have a damn weed or roach. They just don't want you to kill nobody.
Right.
They don't want you to. They don't want. You think they worry about you doing some petty shit?
Right.
They got more
Bigger fish in
things.
front.
That's right. It's a lot like the cops and the police officers in like Atlanta or Chicago. If you get pulled over, you got to join them. Get the fuck out of here.
You know what they used to do to us? They would take the fucking shit and just stomp it out. Like, get out of here.
Yeah, and shit
No.
like that.
But where I was raised, man, they put you in fucking under the jail for a joint.
Yeah, and see DCI is like they magnify some of the petty shit.
Yep.
And let me tell you, in Angola, if you're a cadet, you're a sergeant. You've been working there. He just thought he a cadet.
Yep. He's got something to prove.
He don't have no right to talk before you to me as a convict.
Yep.
You sit there and you learn from him how to deal with me. But you don't have no right to say, learn from him how to deal with me as a convict. In DCI, you shut up. He do all the talking.
Because he's lazy?
No.
No, he's
Or
learning.
why?
No. Because that's how ass backward they got.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I mean, can you imagine a cadet from DCI going up and talking to a man crazy who got 50, 60 years to 80 years? You see? So you put everybody in the same boat. Inmates, convicts, and everything. And you put everybody in the same boat and try to treat everybody the same. But a convict not gonna let you talk to him no anyway. You ain't gonna address him no anyway. See, in DCI, they want you to respect their badge.
Right.
And they're gonna respect you as a man if you respect them as a man.
Yep.
DCI didn't think like that. They want you to respect their badge only. Who give a shit about your badge?
Right.
Man? If you ain't gonna treat me like a man, fuck your badge.
Right. Because that's the world you're living in.
Yes.
It's all about respect.
That's how
Everything's respect.
Yes. In DCI, they didn't learn that because you got a lot of youngsters coming there, 15, 16 years old. And even though you got all these youngsters coming here and you trying to flex your muscle against them, but they got convicts like me. It's in the crowd. It's in there too. You can't talk to me like you gonna talk to no inmate who just come in no prison.
Yep.
So I don't give a shit about your badge. But if you respect me as a man, I don't care what type of badge you got. I'm gonna respect you as a man because you respect me as a man.
Yep.
I ain't gonna look at your badge. I'm gonna look at how you respect me as a man, and I'm gonna give you that same respect.
Badge doesn't matter though. It's the man. It's behind the badge.
Matter. It shouldn't matter.
How much good time did you build up between the last incident? I mean, even just that little, minor thing that kind of got you put back from that little bit of freedom you had for about a year. Was that the last thing before you ended up getting out, or was there any other incidents?
I had 40 and 35 years going this way.
Yep.
Flat.
Yep.
I had a total of 75 years.
Damn.
Flat. Day
Damn.
for day. But
To the door.
I gave my 40 years flat back in 96. And got 40 with good time in discharge.
Yep.
I had 35 years flat.
Yep.
But those flat years was flat bad. DOC ain't had no been in the world flat in my 35 years.
Yep.
But they did. And I challenged them in it. Because I come up under the old law that if the judge wanted to sentence me to flat time day for day, he would have stated that. And in the record of my transcript, he said, Mr. Cooper, do you realize that I could sentence you to a term of prison day for day with no benefit or good time? And you will have to do it day for day? I said, yes, Your Honor. Do you also understand that you if I can impose a sentence of flat time where you see no good time for good behavior? Yes. However, I'm going to send you 35 years in Department of Correction. Now, that however, he told me what he can do.
Yep.
And however separated what he did. But these simple-minded people had took it up on themselves to say he flattened me out. And I had to challenge them. And
Words.
he said in
Vernacular. Gotcha.
He said in his own word what he could do.
Yep.
Day for day.
Yep.
With no benefit of good behavior.
But he didn't write it down.
However, deviated him from what he could do
Right.
to what he did.
Yep.
And which is the way I gave it 35 flat back, and I wound up doing. I supposed to have done 17 and a half. I wound up doing 15 because of
Yep.
good behavior. Because not only at that time I had began training, but coming back to the captain that was over there and go to boxing team, I told him for his breach of betrayal of not being a man of his word, I'm gonna make him regret every day that I'm at DCI. And guess what? I succeed. I mean, a DCI.
So you went that boxing program. You took it over.
Yeah, DCI.
Yeah.
Oh well,
So that's how you were gonna make him regret, because your program was gonna be way better than that one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not only did I wasn't the only trainer, but I was. I had a mentor and trainer.
Yep.
God bless the day. His name Preston George. Spider, they call it Spider.
It's always a cool nickname.
He was very good trainer. I learned a lot from him. I learned a lot what he taught me and where I took it.
Yep.
I took it to a whole nother level.
Yep.
But I learned a lot from Preston George. I mean, I used to watch him, observe him. I used to observe all the training, but him in particular, I used to observe. And as I was training fighters, I trained my first champion was two guys. One was Wilfred Johnson. I called him Kill Will. And the other one was a little featherweight called Rock. That was my first champion. And DCI had became so dominant because when you win Team of the Year award, and they hang a banner, they give you a banner each year you win the most outstanding team. And not only did the repeat was tied with Angola. That was the repeat.
Yep.
They won it 1 year. We won it 1 year. Ain't nobody never three-peat. We not only three-peat, we four-peat, 5-peat, 6-peat, 7-peat, 8-peat, 9-peat, 10-peat. We was damn dynasty.
Like the Patriots.
Or the Lakers. Or
Like the Celtics. The Bulls.
The Bulls. We was
the Yankees.
We was a dynasty.
Damn, brother.
And we never allowed anybody else to win the battle.
So it was.
Angola was last on the pole. So
you really, in a way, you stayed true to who you are, and you always said, "I'll show you."
Yeah.
I'll show you. I'll show you.
And I showed him.
And you finally like put a huge feather in your cap.
Yes. And look, I used to see him. He used to come mess with some of my fighters. And I said, I told you, man, long as I'm a trainer in DCI, Angola would never win a battle.
Yep.
And they never won.
Anytime you put your mind to something, you figure out a way to succeed.
And I told him, every time I see it, every year, and the last fight of the year is always at DCI.
Right.
And I always go up.
It's like your Super Bowl. Like it's like you look forward to it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I always go up to him and say, "Then I tell you,
gotcha, bitch."
Y'all would never.
Gotcha, bitch.
I see, Angola. I'm telling you, Angola ain't gonna never win. As long as I'm a trainer at DCI, Angola will never win a battle. Never.
So I wanna talk about fucking incredible, this whole story. But we'll talk about switching to Rush in a second. But I want to know about, because it's in the mentality of going from almost 4 decades of dealing with this lifestyle and being a part of this lifestyle where it's gladiator, kill or be killed, man of your word.
Mantic.
If someone slights you, they die. And you don't forget for 5 years, you're going to go get a motherfucker. Did you evolve enough in your mindset, your maturity, your consciousness awakening, where after those 35 years that you were just like, were you, because the transition is what I'm going at, right? So like anytime you're in the military, there's transition. Anytime you're in sports for a long time, there's transition. You take off the jersey, you take off the uniform, like the prison uniform. There's still an identity to you, right? There's an identity to who you are and what you've done for the last 3 decades, which is more than most people have a career anymore.
Yeah.
So your career was prison for 35 years,
yes.
and then now it's boxing, and it's the legacy you're leaving behind. Was there any ghosts that haunted you leaving prison in terms of getting itchy when someone fucked with you on the street? Like, motherfucker, you don't know who I am? I will kill you.
But listen.
And if I say I will, you're dead.
Institutionalized,
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Listen.
What restrained you too?
There is pits.
Yeah.
Pit holes.
Yeah.
Deep pit holes. And your humbleness. Look, the only way I've been locked up for 35 years is you hear it, you verbally hear it, somebody done told you. But you'll never hear it. You'll never understand I've been locked up for 35 years and did some terrible ass shit. Just by my behavior.
Right. Your demeanor. But no.
You ain't gonna tell that by those things. But you'll never be able to judge me from where I've been to who I am.
That's who you are now.
Yeah. So there have been situations in society that would test every reserve you got. And if you got to make the transition from how you handle things in prison to how you handle things out here.
Yep.
Because out here, you're going to see a lot of shit that turns you off. You're going to see a lot of shit that tests whether you want to be free.
Right.
And
that's it, man.
And if you haven't made the transition, or you don't give yourself an opportunity to observe things and don't put your life, don't give your life up free.
Right.
Have a greater purpose for your life.
Than the impulse or the moment.
Yeah. Once you come out here, it's once you're in free, you're living in a house among people that generally love you.
Right.
Ain't nothing fake about your family.
Right.
Even though some of your family members be shady, maybe not up to your satisfaction, but you got to wig out
have your best interest at heart, for sure.
You got to wig out the ones that is family.
Yeah.
And ones that
hold them close.
And dismiss the ones that's not.
Yeah.
Hold them in your heart. But there have been situations since I've been free that if I wasn't a thinking man, if I was ain't had no maturity or thought, no humbleness in my heart, I would have been right back in Angola.
Yep.
But you got to make that transition in mindset,
which most people don't.
You know, if you don't make the transition in mindset, I guarantee you, as an ex-convict, if you don't make that as a person coming home free from society, I guarantee you, if you don't make that transition in your mindset, what 99.9% of the time you're gonna see some shit that can keep you, send you right back.
Yep.
So the best way to deal with a situation like that, when you come home from society, you know, don't try to rush your life for what you miss.
Right. That's hard for a lot of people.
But I think
they go right back into the action.
That's true, but I think because Whop was going from training in prison and then he was going training on the outside, there was a lot of similarities in that. You were doing the same thing. You were just you weren't behind bars.
No.
So a lot of people are lost when they get out and they don't have that career that you held on to. And you're like, I'm going to do this, this, and this. And honestly, you like Roy had sought you out while you were still in prison, correct?
No.
Because he saw a fighter and he said,
okay, well, the story behind me and Roy Jones is this. I had trained a guy named Brad Solomon.
That's right.
All right. And
that's Shamir's guy, right? He liked him.
Yes. I trained Shamir to fight similar to him. And I was training a guy named Brad Solomon in prison. And he came out in 2005. December 2004. And he had came out and he went to the National Golden Glove. He made history in the Golden Glove competition. And in 75 years of his existence, ain't nobody ever won a National Golden Glove title infused in 30 fights.
Right.
He done it in 6. And he hit
6 fights out of prison, but he had fought a lot in prison.
No, in the Golden Glove out here.
Okay.
So Muhammad Ali, Holyfield,
all of them.
George Foreman, Floyd Mayweather, you name it. All of them been through the Golden Glove. And none of them have never won a national title infused in 30 fights.
Amateur fights. That's what you're talking about, right?
No, 30 fights international.
Okay.
See, you got to go to the state, the regional.
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
So you got to go to all of these competition before you make it to the national. So therefore, when Brad come home, he is never there ain't nobody from the glory.
So he did it in 6 fights?
He did it in 6 fights.
Jesus.
And when they checked the record books, nobody had never won a national title with fewer than 30 fights. And he done it in 6. Okay.
That gave you a little street cred on the outside for sure, didn't it?
Well, because
he got out on 05, you got out in 11, right? 2011.
Yeah. Yep. But he pretty much out and had a pro career when I came home. But anyway, there's the story behind him in area too, at that time. So anyway, I trained him to fight similar to Roy. And he fought Bernard Hopkins' nephew.
B-Hop.
He fought his nephew.
Beast.
Yep.
Dimitri Hopkins on national television, on ESPN. And during the course of the fight, commentators was commentating on his style, who he got feet working at, who he moving at. Sugar Ray Robinson, Sugar Ray Leonard, and Roy Jones. Right? So a lot of things he was doing like Roy. And when when Roy finally met him, Roy asked him, how did he evolve his style?
Yeah, he told us about you look like me.
Yeah.
Yes. and Roy, and he told Roy, man, you was my trainer, favorite fighter. So he showed me how to do a lot of things similar to you, because we used to watch your tapes and watch you fight and so on, so forth, which is true. So, and Roy like, man, one day I'd like to meet your trainer. And Brad said, man, matter of fact, he coming home in October, right? So at that time I came home, Brad Solomon was scheduled to fight a Russian over there and
oh, that's the Russian connection.
Yep.
Yeah, so boom to Russia.
No, but Brad was scheduled to fight a guy from Ukraine for the 147 belt. So when I came home, Brad was preparing to fight for that belt, so I had training for that belt. However, how things went, he didn't fight for that belt. Because if he would have fought and won that belt, 7 more years of the contract he was under would have kicked in, automatic kicked in.
Damn.
So he didn't want to fight for those people no more. So he didn't take the fight.
Yep.
So they sent Pagliacci to go fight, and he won the belt.
Yep.
So Pagliacci told us he was going to give us a title fight. He's not a man of his word. He full of shit. He didn't give us after he won it, he said he was going to give us Brad a shot at the title. He didn't. Brad would have whipped his ass. Yeah, Brad would have whipped his ass because he was the weakest 147 pounder with a belt.
Damn.
That's why Adrian Bonner took him.
Strong words coming from a strong man.
I mean, he was. Of all the welterweights with a belt, Pagliacci was the weakest one. That's why Adrian Bonner went and took his belt from him.
This is the guy from the Ukraine, Pagliacci? Or was Pagliacci from the
he's
Italian?
From okay. He's from New York.
Okay.
Pagliacci.
He used to be a commentator on one of the sports shows. But, but he
not Paulie Malignaggi.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. I know who he is. Yeah, he's got a big mouth.
Yeah, well, he promised to give us. We gave you that shot.
Yeah.
And you promised to give us a shot.
Right.
You get it.
He wasn't a man of his word.
He wasn't a man of his word. So Adrian Bonner just took your shit.
Yeah.
And took the girl.
Took your cookies.
Hey, hold my trophy while I kiss your wife.
Right.
So he was a weak 147 pounder. In my eye, personally, in my view, he was the weak link in the 147 pounder. So anybody was subject.
Kind of like a paper champion in a sense.
Which is a competitive weight class. Yes.
And so he got it by default.
Yep.
He didn't keep it. So
prove the point.
Yeah, but when Roy seen him, so Roy told him, well, I'd like to meet your trainer. So I came home in 2011.
Yep.
On the field.
October.
Finally, I'm going to train Brad to go fight that belt in Roy camp. So
here in Pensacola?
In Pensacola, yes.
So you came down to Pensacola with Brad,
yes.
And you meet Roy. Yeah.
Roy. And immediately, man, it was a connection between me and Roy.
Bond.
And a bond just set it off. And he asked me, do I have a passport? I said, no, I never had a passport. He said, can you get one? He said,
I have a prison ID.
He told me where to get it from. He said, the only place I know you could get a passport in a couple of days is from in New Orleans.
Okay.
I said, well, shit, I'll go get back
where you're from.
And get it.
Yeah. So you were free and clear though, right? Like after your time was done,
you
could go travel, no restrictions.
But you didn't have a license either,
right?
Yeah. Well, I had got him coming.
Because that's crazy as shit. Because you have to have a lot of shit.
Well, I had my license, but I had got my ID.
Yep.
Yeah, state ID.
I went and got the state ID from. Then I got my social security and my birth certificate and all the essential. But the
essentials.
The essential identification I got. And then I wanted to get my driver license, but I had to wait until I come from Russia because I was scheduled to take them.
How many people come out of prison after 3 decades and go right to Russia? Probably none. Yeah. Think about it. Probably none.
I'll tell you.
None ever.
I'll tell you.
Just Whop.
No. Russians that go to jail over here and go back home. That's it. But American citizens and Whop.
Always set the trend.
Russians, they go home and then you.
That's good.
Incredible.
But
there you are.
Get it.
Is that you?
We can time out if we need to. Let's time out real quick. We'll cut it back in. 1. Good.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
But the Russian experience I had with Roy, even though I had got my essential paper, I got my passport, I had my ID, I had my birth certificate, I had my social security. Mm-hmm. The only thing left I had to get it when I come from Russia was my driver's license.
Yeah.
And I went to Russia. And like I said, like I was telling you earlier, I came home October the 5th, 2011, and I was in Russia November the 2nd. I wasn't out 30 days.
So crazy.
And it was truly remarkable, and I'm a tremendous, I'm forever in debt to Roy for being the type of guy he is.
He's an amazing person.
He didn't have to allow the ex-convict on his property.
But he knew something about you.
Yes.
He felt
it. And he, and our bond since then it grew larger than life because our relationship is not centered around boxing.
Right.
It's centered around life.
Life, philosophy.
Yes. And some
respect, like you said earlier, just respect. And I can tell you right now, the people we talked to this week and really getting to know Shamir, because look, that guy's a solid young man.
Yeah.
And everything that you and Roy is teaching him is he's taking it in. It's soaking like a sponge,
changing lives.
Because you can tell. And then he works out in front of us, and his breathing when he punches like Roy's, and Roy's boxers do the same thing. I was watching them today after we left. They sound like him. They do like him now. Can they win like him? Right?
Yes.
Can they win like him?
Well, you have to see it.
Wait and see.
I know you're not trained to
I can't
lose.
wait.
Right.
No, I can't wait.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
You're not trained to lose. You train to win.
Yep.
You know, even though you may lose, but you're not trained to lose.
Right.
You train to win. Only.
That's right.
Not yet.
And we were talking about that with Shamir earlier, and how the fighters treat each other like iron sharpens iron. They're there to win. They're there to help each other get better. They're not there to go easy and pity patty. They're trying to hurt each other, not hurt each other, but like try to make each other better.
Well, if you don't, you're not helping him.
That's right.
He's not helping
You're holding
you.
people down.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, with your girl fighter, and she's about to go. She's about to go win the gold.
Get the gold. Go
she's
pro.
About to win the gold, and I love it. I love the excitement, and I love the camaraderie between these two.
Yes.
We did a podcast before you. They got a really good camaraderie, and I say that because
Great team.
And it's a pretty good connection because Kyle and me and Jesse, we're all in businesses, and we're helping each other out. And Quentin Q comes in, and we help each other out. And you guys do the same thing with boxing. It's like it's
awesome. Family. It's just
awesome
another form of family.
But the beautiful thing about today was it's Roy Jones Jr., man. You expect the mansion or whatnot. What you get is 700 chickens.
Yeah. You get realness and authenticity. You get people that
it's a garage with a ring in it.
You see a community, a tribe. You see people that buy into the bigger than the boxing, like you said.
Yes, it's much bigger than the boxing. You got to be a relationship. It got to be something because you got to look at it. What person of that status?
All time.
Would ever be as humble and generous to you like that?
Insane. It's insane. It shows he's a good human being.
Yes. So you got a lot of people of Roy status that wouldn't even give you the time of day.
Right.
More or less invite you to their property, private property.
Welcoming too. Like he's asking, can I help you with anything? Do you need anything? Like he's just a good, solid
We
human
played
being.
4 hours of basketball in his driveway.
Yeah, we did.
Yesterday.
Yes.
And he hates wearing masks, by the way.
He does not like wearing masks.
I do too.
But I'll tell you, man, I met a lot of famous people, but I met George Lopez. But George Lopez is a huge fight fan. A huge fight fan. So I bet Roy knows him.
Probably.
I bet they've hung out together. But I met him and we hung out for 8-9 hours like 2 years ago. Me and my wife hung out with him. He's like, here's 2 tickets to the show tonight. We did this. He never said no. Not one time
Yep.
to a picture or an autograph. He was getting up 50% of the time, doing that, taking pictures, autograph, sit back down. And that's how Roy treated us today.
It was
that's how he was.
Open arms.
And it was incredible.
Yep.
It was
Genuine
incredible
open
thing.
arms. No, and he just what really was cool about it was because we talked about boxing like just a little bit, and then we went into all the other stuff that was fun and interesting. He's just a good dude.
Well, our goal is not to get mine and Jesse's goal is not to get caught up in what you do, but who you are. And,
Right.
And what do you feel about what's happening in America? What do you feel about what's happening in current events? And you know, the story matters, but how many times has Roy
you are matters.
How many times has Roy talked about the fucking Ruiz fight?
Right.
God,
he doesn't need to
damn.
talk about that again.
Like a million times. I mean, and I watched that fight, and I loved it. I mean, I was 90s baby, you know what I mean? I was a 90s kid, so in high school. So did I know Roy Jones Jr.?
You know, when he lit up. He lit up when we started talking about Corona and the New World Order and just like the control. Like this is I'm into all that stuff. So like just the conversation just went over here, and to see him cutting up and laughing and joking, that's the magic. That's the magic.
I looked at him. Then he goes, how long is this guy? This guy didn't know me. He goes, how long is this going to take? I said, about 3, maybe 4 hours.
He's
he
like,
said,
nope.
no. I was like, I said, I just messed with you. I was like, whatever you give me, we appreciate it.
We're gracious.
But look, we're about 2 hours with us. Like, we're 2 hours, and this battery's about to die.
Yep.
So here's
real quick. I want a question.
Yeah, do it.
What do you think about? And I don't want to get into the details and the strategy of the game plan, but what do you just think about Mike Tyson right now? Like, what do you think about Mike Tyson? And he's had a hell of a story too. Like, we all have a story.
Yeah,
everybody does.
Casio.
And just he's at a place now where I feel like he's done some healing as a person.
Yeah,
and he seems like he's gone through some of his demons, and he's been through a lot of that shit.
He's so different.
What kind of Mike Tyson are you expecting in a week? And how do you feel about the whole thing?
Well, I feel both of them is tremendous. Got tremendous history. Being,
the best in boxing.
You're being the fans.
Oh, baby.
Being the fans greats.
Yeah.
Both of them was favorable by a people's champ. Both of them was
That's right.
fans great.
Showman.
And I think what the people gonna get is what they made of inside.
Yeah.
And whether you gonna get the flashy Roy or the barbarious, skillful Tyson.
Yeah.
But whatever you get, you gonna get.
Say thank you.
It's gonna be a show.
Say thank
Yes.
you.
Yes.
Say thank you.
You gonna get of a 54-year-old man and a 51-year-old man.
Incredible.
Who dominated the boxing world in their prime. And what you get out them, everybody should appreciate that.
Yeah. And even though they're 54 and 51, and they have things that they're working through because of
you gonna see something
they look amazing. They look better than 95% of the population.
So good. Look, the last thing I said to Roy, I looked at him. I said, "Hey, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. I'm gonna say it 20 times, but thank you." And he goes, "Yeah." I go, "And whoop his ass, man.
Finish it.
He said, "All right."
Yeah.
You know, but when you look at, and just like watching the movie Grudge Match, man. If you can appreciate a fiction, a character like Grudge Match, he is two real live gladiators.
Oh, they are
dominated boxing in its purest form.
Yep.
So whatever you get of a 51-year-old man, a 54-year-old man who dominated boxing for years on years, appreciate it. Appreciate what because what coming out these men, what gonna come out these men is everything there is inside.
Yeah.
Look,
beautiful.
I told this to Shamir. I told this to Shamir the other day. I don't know if it was we've done like so many podcasts.
We've done a few.
Like, I don't know if it was in the living room
right.
on the beach or in a podcast. But he was talking about Muhammad Ali and Roy, and I said, "Fuck, what would it have been like to talk to Muhammad Ali?" And I said, he's not a fucking boxer. This guy, it was more than that.
He transcended
way
everything.
More than that. Like he was, like he's that character is what we need right now in America.
We do
to go fuck this shit, fuck the damn people, fuck the government, and go. I don't care what people think of me for this, because that's what he did.
Catalyst for change.
That's what he did.
He challenged people Heart and intellect.
And he didn't care. He got hated on by, especially white America for sure, but he got hated on by Black America too.
But yes, you better believe
because he went to the Islam. And,
some of the civil rights leaders, black civil rights leaders, didn't like the fact that Muhammad Ali made the stand he did. But I'm gonna tell you something. In the end, they all had to bow down to the greatest because he proved he was a man of conviction. He
transcends boxing. That's what I'm saying. He is such a character.
Them type of shining examples is how I look at. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. That's right.
You see, and I try to take a little piece from
you got to
100%.
You got to,
because people like that is so rare in life.
What'd you take from Muhammad?
Well, I took him to be a man of your word. If you say something, mean it. if you, I mean, and be.
I think you were always a man of your word.
And stand for something.
Right.
If you stand for something, no matter who against you.
Yep.
No matter who against you, always stand for something.
Yep.
And be on the right side of standing for what you believe.
Your beliefs.
Then to have somebody sway your opinion to something they believe in, or they want you to believe. Stand for something, and don't. And when you stand for something, no matter what consequence you go through, you just stand for what you believe. And I think I look at Muhammad Ali had always been one of my favorite fighters.
Of course, me too.
Let me tell you something. They got 3 fighters that I put the greatest fighters in the world in this order.
Let's hear it.
I ain't saying there is about how somebody else judges.
Reggie, Jay-Z, Tupac, and Biggie.
I'm telling you how I feel.
Yeah.
I feel that people that I like to be identified as the greatest fighters of all time. Ali Wons, Roy Jones, Mike Tyson, and Parnell Whitaker.
Love that list.
Parnell Whitaker too, I that's good. So no Rocky Marciano in there.
But I ain't saying nobody else ain't great.
No, right. That's your list. That's your personal list.
My personal list.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's a great list.
These are people that I paid attention to more.
And you understand the game more than most, so you can understand who they are.
I've had this on my email for more than 10 years. And it's the tagline on the bottom of it. And it says, "He who is not courageous enough to take risk will accomplish nothing in life." Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, that's
and I use that in business, and I pull that from my soul and my heart.
Yeah.
And Jesse, me coming from the same kind of sales background, and you know what? We've risked a lot of shit. And boxers do it all the time. All the time. They do it when they get in the ring. They do it with their life. But even small business owners that were trying to pump up to medium to large business owner, you risk a lot of shit
grind.
too.
Yeah,
you risk a lot of stuff.
You're damn right.
And you know what's funny about Muhammad Ali? Because I have this written on a thing for a long time, my chalkboard at my house that I used to live in pre-divorce, and it was suffer now, live the rest of your life as a champion.
Yes,
that always stuck with me, and that's
awesome.
Muhammad. And that's for every walk in life. Suffer now, embrace the suck, and you'll be a fucking champion.
Yes, and he said he hated training.
Every
day of training.
He did. He always said that.
He'd rather suffer now.
Be a champion.
And be a champion.
Damn, brother.
Look, I am so glad we got to do this because I didn't think you were going to come, man. I thought you were a fiction of everybody's imagination, and you finally showed up, man.
After this conversation, a man of his word, I will like always.
He showed up.
Yeah,
he showed up.
So
nice to meet you, man. I thought you were fake,
right? So real quick, one last question before we go. Roy was talking about his bucket list. He was talking about his bucket list was to get the great Iron Mike and fight him and just let it all hang out and let the fans enjoy it. Bring some positive, because Roy embraces the same kind of semblance that Muhammad was. He was a light to the world. He was someone who wanted to change and make things better. And Roy does this by going to Russia and going around the world, people who know Roy. And Roy wants to give a show to the people because during this 2020 year, it was one of the craziest years in history.
Yes, it is.
He wants to bring some happiness. through sport.
And he mean that.
He does, and I believe him. And so my question to you is, what's on your bucket list?
On my bucket list,
what do you want to do?
Is what I would like to do. I would like to accomplish something, the impossible.
Yeah.
I love accomplishing impossible things.
What does that look like? Do you have one thing that you think that you're going to try to tackle? Is there something that's impossible that you're like, I'm going to get this?
Yes. I would like to forge ahead and from where I come from. I always want to win a gold medal, whether personally or
hell yeah,
do it.
You're on your way.
Yeah,
and I'm that much closer.
You're real close.
To
very cool.
And
is it Tokyo 2021?
Yes,
Tokyo. We got this.
Yeah.
And also genuinely take most of the fighters I train to be all on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
In the next 3-4 years, I want all of them to be recognizable on the same wavelength.
What about personally though? Like, where do you want to go? Like, do you want to go to a beach somewhere? I mean, look, you fucking lived a hard life. You deserve it.
Right. What do you still want to do?
Like, do you want to go to Mongolia? Do you want to do
go
like
Madagascar with me in Peru?
Yeah, that's right.
Right?
That's right. He'd be a good one. He'd be a good one.
Great.
If I was financially stable, I would choose places that I read about, like Egypt.
Hell yeah.
Ethiopia.
It's good.
Beautiful.
I would like to visit places that I read about.
Yep.
I've been. Listen.
So you're not a beach guy? Egypt. Egypt.
We're just talking about how beautiful it was.
I don't know. Well, Egypt and Ethiopia are. The people are beautiful. First off, people are beautiful there.
Historical, cultural.
Yeah.
I would like
the roots of civilization.
It is cradle of civilization. Yeah.
I will see it personally, rather than through pictures.
For sure,
that's a great goal.
I've never been to the south of the border.
Okay.
I've been everywhere. I've been the north.
A little bit of Russia, a little bit of north.
You got a girlfriend? Do you date?
You got a few?
Do you swipe right?
No.
You don't swipe. You don't on Tinder? God, hit Whop on Tinder, man. He would ruin these motherfuckers.
He would.
But my accomplishment, I would like for my accomplishment to allow me to travel the world, and see places. I ain't never been south of the border.
Yeah,
I would like to go to Cuba. I would like to go to some of the little islands in the Caribbean.
Yep. Make us a promise today on this podcast. When you get that gold next year in Tokyo, you're gonna commit to a trip in 2021 or 2022.
I'm gonna commit to a trip in four north, south, east, west.
Yep.
In 4 different countries.
Beautiful.
On the globe.
Cuba's different. Cuba's going to be hard because of all the
political
issues. Me and look, this was in the COVID world. Me and Chris went down to South Florida.
That's why I want to see it, because of you know they got so many ancient ass codes in Cuba.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. For sure, but look, it's hard to get in there. So we go. So me and my business, for sure. Me and my business partner, we went down to South Florida. We're doing a meeting for some software and some business stuff, and I go, I'm gonna take a boat. I'm gonna go to Cuba.
90 miles.
Yeah, 90 miles. I'll do that. 3 hours on a boat, easy. I'll rent the boat and go there. Guy goes, you can't rent my boat and go to Cuba. Nah. Look, they'll take this shit. Yeah. Like not Cuba. The American government will take it.
Coast Guard.
Get the fuck out of here. Coast Guard. No, they don't want you to do that. And that's another thing about like governing bullshit.
You can go to Cuba. And you know Roy Jones. He's got a guy.
No. Roy Jones can go to Cuba.
He's got a friend.
Jay Worthy can't go to Cuba.
That's what I'm saying. Well, you're good.
But you see the north, south, east, west.
Right.
I would like to even go to Cambodia and Vietnam.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what that's the east.
Yep.
That's the
Where's the west?
In the west of
Hawaii. You say Hawaii.
Well, That's great.
Yeah.
I mean, Hawaii is the great, but I also
That's almost east again, though.
Almost.
Yeah.
Gotta go west.
Hawaii is a place.
Yeah.
I know I'm gonna choose 4. I'm gonna do north, south, east, west.
Yep.
I'm gonna choose 4 countries.
What's south?
What's south is anywhere in the Caribbean islands.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And that's a short
been to
flight
all,
from
yeah.
here, dude.
And-
That's a
and-
quick flight.
And listen, and then,
Caribbean from
you
Florida.
see how the water be out? I just want.
You just want
I
the
hear you, dude.
Yeah.
Look, I'll tell you what, man. I'll throw something out there to you, and I promise you, man of my word. Look, you win that gold. We'll go down there together.
There you go.
I'll do that together.
All three of us.
Jesse will go down there too.
Yeah, that's a
Look,
dope deal.
I'll buy you as many Coca-Colas as you want.
Listen,
you know?
listen. You heard it here first.
I'll throw a little
Listen,
rum in there.
46 and 2 Weld Partners, my company,
Yeah.
will pay for your plane
MP
ticket.
Group, yeah.
You pay for the hotel.
Yep,
And
I'll
we'll
do
go
it.
to the Caribbean in
That's it.
2021.
I'll rent a fucking boat. We'll go on the ocean.
Done.
And I've been all of them. I've been all of St. Martin's,
Let's do it.
St. Thomas, all of them.
You pick your favorite
Fucking
spot in the
awesome.
Caribbean. I'll pay for the plane
good.
ticket. You pay for the hotel. And we'll go.
Done. It's cheap too. Going down there is actually cheap.
I know.
Yes, and because I mean I've seen you see pictures of these islands and so on.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, one day I'd like to go and
You got to
see.
do it, man. You know why? Because just like you talk about your perspective, my perspective is I've held death in my hands twice in my life. So the value of a moment is the most important thing.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah.
Go.
Got to.
2021, commit, go.
And look, you're so fucking busy. You're so busy with these fighters.
for a long weekend.
And you're doing this, and you're like, I gotta get this girl.
Right.
I gotta get Arrow ready because she's doing this. And Shamir, he's 3-1. He's trying to do like 20 fights in the next year.
Yeah.
He's trying to do all this, and you got to do this, but you got to take care of you too.
For sure.
And that mental health. And I promise you,
Yep.
and I learned this because I worked 60, 70 hours a week. Never took a vacation at all for years when we were in that business
Couldn't.
at all. And
7 days a week.
6 years didn't do it because that's how you were programmed. But man, that 1 week that you get down there and you're in St. Thomas or St. Martin's and
Change your life.
6 or 7 days and you just fucking chill. You'll come back to that boxing ring. He's like, bitch, what? We about to box some shit. I'm
Right.
going to go back there. I got to go back there. So I'm going to win. I'm going to go back there.
Whop Caribbean 2021 gold
It's
medal.
done.
Done.
It's done.
Hey,
It's done.
great fucking time, man.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Hey,
Yeah.
Thank you.
brother, thank you
Thank
for
you.
who you are. Thank you for your story. Thank you, Jay, for a great week.
2.
Thank you,
We're gonna
all
do
the
it.
team.
We're doing a Whop 2 in Atlanta at our place.
Yes. You always
It's gonna be good.
you're always welcome at our house, brother.
Yep.
Where your house?
In Atlanta.
In Atlanta, yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
Oh, all the time. I be
Anytime
out
you
there.
come
See?
to Atlanta, dude.
See?
Let's connect.
I'll be out there so often. It's like,
Yeah,
Well,
dude.
come on.
We are too.
Come on. Come on. We're about 20 minutes north of Atlanta, man. You're welcome.
I'll be out there
You're your family, man.
That's
That's how it is.
Great
Love
time.
you.
Thank you for who you are, brother.
Soup sandwich.
Soup sandwich.
You guys be kind to each other out there.
Yep. Remember today.
all right,
See ya.
peace.